Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Rashida. Today's video is going to be on how to generate time series data. I am primarily focusing on how to generate a time series, a range of dates or time with certain interval. Okay, and Pandas has some good functionality for time series data analysis, and for today's video I'm going to use one of them called Daterange. And generating time series it could be very important if you deal with time series data or time series analysis forecasting, because sometimes you may have data. We get this kind of data a lot of times, that we have data and we know that this data is from that period or that period, but we don't have the time or the date recorded. In that case, we have to guess something based on the information around it. We have to just guess something, that this data probably from that time frame, and we have to generate that time. And also sometimes for research purpose we need to do that, like probably we don't have this year's second quarter data and we are going to replicate last year's second quarter data, but the weekends, the holidays, they're not gonna fall on right on the same dates, so we have to generate dates according to this year. So these are just few examples there, and there are several other use cases, especially for research analysis, forecasting, time series forecasting, to understand the effect of seasonality of the data, or the effect of seasonality on the data. So there are several reasons we do it. So let's see the simple thing, that is Daterange. Import pandas as PD. Now I'm going to start with something pretty simple. Daterange, let's give a start date, 2020, okay, and then give a end date, 1/15/2020. Okay, look, so we have 15 data here, 15 days, including start and end date. And look, the frequency frequency comes as day, right? That means it gave every day, January 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. You can change this frequency by any chance. If you don't need this frequency as every day, probably if you want every other day or every 3 days, you can do that pretty simply like this. Just put 3. Okay, you see we have only 5 data now. Suppose you have the start date and no end date. Okay, you don't need to always specify the start and end. If you don't specify them, it takes by default the first date you put is the start date, the second date you put is the end date, so you don't need to always put it. So you have the only first one date, the starting date. You don't know the end date, but you probably know that you need 10 days data, 10 dates, so you put the period, okay, 10. So it will generate automatically. Oh, there is a S. It will generate automatically the 10 dates, right? Or if you mention the frequency the way I did before, 3 day or 2 day, in that case it will generate period, 10 days period, 10 data and 2 days interval. Here you see that, yeah, 10 data. Now this frequency can be not only day, it could be weeks. Okay, Here you see every week data, 5, 12, 19. Okay, war. Probably you need 10 dates, and you want only business days. Only business days, no no weekends. So it gives you, look, 1, 2, 3, after that 4 and 5 are the weekends, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, after 10 again 13, 14. All right. Now I can show you actually the other frequencies, because there are lots of different frequencies you can use. Look at it. Business day frequency, custom business day frequency, then day, we use day, week, then you can use month, semi-month, and frequency, business month. And so feel free to try with all these different frequencies, and I will provide the link of this page in the description box below. Please check it out. And I'm going to show a few of them here, but definitely I cannot show all of them. Okay, oh, we should this day, week, business days. Let's try 1 month. When you put month, it gives you 10 months, and it always takes the last day of every month. So I put January 2020. It starts with January 31st, February 29th, March 31st. So okay, and what about that business and day? If you put BM, that gives you the last business day of each month. Okay, last business day, look, January, February, March, April. In May, last business day was 29th, probably 30 and 31st was the weekend. Okay, all right. If you want, you can actually you can data frame. You can do this, and then give the column name. Okay, instead of 10, put 12. So in 2020, in this 2020, these are the last business days of each month. Now let me show you one more thing, that is like time zone. If your client is in another country, like in Asia, probably in Africa, or you are working in another country, you are not in the US, in that case you may have to use the time zones, different time zones. Okay, sorry, I don't need this actually, I want this one. Okay, frequency, after that put a, instead of BM, just put business days, and put time zone, Africa, oh no, Abidjan. Okay, so it may not look too interesting now, but it could be very useful if you really have to deal with some other country's time, especially if you have to put hourly frequency or minute frequency. Okay, so that was all I wanted to show about Daterange, and now I want to show you one more thing, that is like how you can incorporate one of these series into a data set, a real data set. So let's import one data, pd.readcsv. I'm going to use the Facebook stock data. Okay, Facebook data with no date.csv dot head. Let's see. So this is the data, Facebook stock data. It doesn't have a date, right? Now we are going to put a date in it. Okay, let's, okay, range, instead of put the name like this, range. Okay, just probably copy one of them. Look, this, okay, I'll leave this time zone because we are in US anyway. Periods, actually no, keep the time zone. Okay, period, I'm going to give df. The reason I'm doing period length df, that way we are gonna get the dates, the number of dates will match the number of data here. Okay, this is the range, and now we put this data, set index, okay, in place equal true. Okay, okay, now look, df dot, yeah, see, now you have the data. If you don't put the head and see the whole data frame, you can see you have data in date in each row of data. So okay, that's all for today. I hope this was helpful. If you like this video and want to have more of this kind of tutorials, please subscribe, like, comment, and share. Thank you so much.